Hello baby gangsters, this is Calvin, also known as Romer, and this is me from the future talking about what's going to be happening in this video here. Usually we have a Honkai Star Rail gameplay video on this time slot, but today I'm going to be reacting to some trailers, which is the Myriad Celestia trailer, Amphoreus Saga of Heroes, the Golden Epic trailer, Amphoreus Saga of Heroes, and the Myriad Celestia trailer, Fables About the Stars Part 2. These are the three trailers I'm going to be watching today and breaking them down as much as possible in these videos as well. The reason why we're watching these today is because I know that the Fables About the Stars was actually suggested, and this is the one I actually want to watch today, but also, I thought it'd be nice to take a little bit of a rest stop, since we've been going so, hard into Amphoreus for such a long time now. It might be nice to take, a tiny bit of, a one-day gap in between. Not that I'm tired of Amphoreus, but I feel like taking these gaps, right before we go into something much heavier might be a good idea, so we can, go in as fresh as a daisy, regardless if I'm tired or not. I'm definitely not tired of Amphoreus. I love it. It's amazing, but I also think it's a very smart idea to be okay, before we can ever feel overwhelmed, let's take a little bit of a break here. A little bit of a fresh as a daisy nap in between this, and then go into the next part after this too. And I don't know how much is going to be left. I don't think it's going to be one episode. I think it's going to be multiple episodes still that's coming up after this as well. But I think it's a nice little rest stop before we go into the next stages of this stuff too. And I'm very excited to get into this stuff as well. So let's do this.
In the legend's ending, the world was pure chaos.
Wait.
Then the gods cast down the core flames, and the titans were born within.
So this is the yes, okay. This is why this is different. There's another trailer that we're watching here, as you see this in the playlist too, that I believe was also narrated by Aglaya. So I do know that part as well. Okay, yeah, that's what this is. It's going to be that's the differences we're getting on here. Okay. I'll put on the subtitles as well so people can see that also.
The destruction's black tide fell to the ground as Doomsday's distant reckoning resounded.
This is such a great scene as well in the game too.
Yet still, there were giants who chased the flames, leading the way in the grand undertaking of Trailblaze. Flow golden blood.
Oh my god, that visual as well. So cool. Yeah, we've seen this one for sure, but watching it again is cool too.
That flows across the divine inscriptions of this world. Aglaya, the chrysalis of gold.
Oh my god.
You must caress the holy city's web and hearken to the sounds of the stars.
It's so beautiful.
There shall be the three-faced goddess traversing through myriad passages.
Every single time that they show these characters on screen breaks my heart. It doesn't, without fail, it breaks my heart.
Bearing tidings to you from the universe.
So this is them saying them giving the prophecy right as well towards everyone too.
Amphoreus of reason has enough knowledge to refute the world.
Hell yeah.
And to stir up a torrent capable of enlightening all.
And that's what he did as well. He stirred up a torrent that made people think for themselves for years to come.
Go seek the holy maiden who severs dawn from dusk.
Tell him.
And let the sky become the slumbering cot from which she wakes.
And again, we have that now, that whole idea of as well, with the idea of how the sky became, in my view, a parallel or an analogy for the idea of not just reaching the sky, but also a new dawn, something, a new sky, a new sun, the sun rising is a new dawn, but then also as well something that seems more approachable than it was before.
Make him return.
My man! He's so sick.
With Kremnos' heroic souls. Set her at rest. Cypher, the coin of whimsy. Command the frozen fate to once again flow. And that hand of shadow.
Yeah, and Cypher as well again too. This is why is.
Set her at rest. Cypher, the coin of whimsy. Command the frozen fate to once again.
So, and that's them talking about how she the lie, right? The lie that she had as well.
That hand of shadow cast her as
such sick
the
imagery,
master
isn't
of
it?
The river of souls. She has been granted the right to embrace and warm new life. Now blossoms at her fingertips.
Yep. And that is as well, and we saw that in the game as well, right? Which the idea of she's kind of cast off the idea that she's an executioner. She now can save lives, something she's always wanted to do.
You will hear the chalice of plenty.
The best. The goat.
Eternity.
The goat!
You will see the veil of Evernight visiting before the break of dawn.
The train going by as well.
When all beings reach the end of the earth.
Look at this as well.
And the nameless new king ascends the throne alongside countless heroes to embark on the grand mission of deliverance.
And this is when we were fighting Lygus. Remember when we like added all those memories into his brain? So, again, the artwork's absolutely incredible still.
I have witnessed the distant past, where the blazing sun once etched the footprints of humanity.
That's such a cool design.
The children of humanity, known as the Chrysos heirs,
I love this artwork as well.
the God's core flames, and once more upheld the world.
This is who we're taking with us into the final battle. You know what I mean? This is our crew.
Are a constant on the flame chase journey,
Oh.
among which even life itself holds little value.
Great imagery and great music as well.
Therefore, we cast even ourselves into the flame, only to inscribe the opening stroke in the poem of creation.
I know it's so much as well. This is so heavy now as well, like looking at this imagery, because it is like, it is one of the best, where we are now in the game, it is one of the best sequences ever to like, when we gather everyone together and we bring them with us with their memories as well. And I know Black Swan is here as well. You can see Black Swan there also too, and there's Screwy as well in the picture too. But like, it really is like the most united front ever in terms of just like it's all of our friends coming together to fight this one enemy, and this image just like is so great. And the idea of like, I guess, what was the exact phrasing here with the to write the first page? Cast yourselves into the flame,
only to inscribe the opening stroke.
Yeah, it's like we will do this. We will sacrifice ourselves. We will send ourselves our own life force or our own memories with Stell just to write the opening stroke of this new dawn, of this new creation, what we will do to see this new world.
In the poem of creation.
Yeah. So freaking cool, man. And there's that infinity symbol as well. It's so beautiful. Amphoreus, I should say, as well. Wait, what's this? What's happening? I know, obviously, it's the Sireneer reveal, right? Or the new Spore reveal. That's interesting what they do with playlists now as well.
This will be a romantic story like none that has come before. You think so too, right?
Superb design as well. I pause here because, again, they saw... Well, no, I think a new banner's around, right? So, a new banner might be around. Yeah. Oh, like, okay. It's not a new banner. Like, but I don't know what that is. It's just Silverwood and Blade with some bowling. So that's fine. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, like we've seen this before. So I think like, you know, talking about this at great length isn't like, you know, the thing we should do here right now. But I will say like, it's one of those things that like, it's such an amazing trailer and such an amazing moment in the game too. And really like, I think is even more impactful when you go back as well. It's impactful in the moment, but now like we have everyone united as one front, under one front as well. And we know about the new Spore, know who the new Spore is as well. It hits so hard, especially the idea of like, you know, giving up our lives or throwing our lives into the flames to just write the first page and the first note of the new dawn. So many characters have literally sacrificed and done so much just so Stell could get to this one stage, just so we could get this new dawn and see this new light happening. We've seen all these characters do so much, and that's what they're trying to emphasize here as well. But yeah, we've already seen this part before, and now we're going to look at the other version, which is the version with Aglaya as well, narrating. And I want to see what this is all about. As well. Here we go. Hoyoverse.
In the legend's beginning, the world was pure chaos. Then the gods cast down the core flames, and the titans were born within. 3 titans carved the heavens and earth. 3 wove the threads of fate.
Very cool.
3 molded life with their hands. And 3 guided Calamity's gate.
So this is like this thing that, was this like the story that Treeby was singing at the start, like the poem that she recited at the start of the whole journey of Amphoreus?
The Titans blaze enlightened civilizations, and people of all realms thrived endlessly.
Whoa.
But the golden age was fleeting. And from beyond the sky came the heretical black tide.
And we see like that there was a good time for all that. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry for pausing. We will pause as much as I care to do. But it's, you see the difference here as well. But also like, you know, that they did have like something that was hopeful more before this as well, you know? That was very hopeful.
Realms thrived endlessly. But the golden age was fleeting.
Yeah, and that black tide changed everything.
And from beyond the sky came the heretical black tide.
Music's gorgeous.
Its gloom was darker than death itself, driving the Titans to madness and the mortals to mutual war.
Yeah.
Strife broke out across the land, and the stain of blood consumed the light of
Man,
God.
all these like it is definitely like focusing on like the very like horrific moments that happened here as well, like exactly what's been affecting Amphoreus, right? And you know, whether it be the Black Tide infecting the Titans or like how war plagued Amphoreus as well. And we even saw like, we can't deny like Ceridra, the Kremnoans, like there was like Amphoreus is also, the history is written with blood as well, you know?
Gods waged war. The sun itself grew quiet in awe. A millennium of divine conflict left only a shattered world and an age
Wow,
of darkness.
Especially how the Black Tide has affected so much here.
The flames flickered and dimmed, and the age of the gods met its end. Golden blood fell to the ground as a distant prophecy resounded. Flow, golden blood.
And this is kind of like in the last trailer as well, but like we kind of started off with like seeing all the like absolutely horrific things that were happening as well. You know, that Amphoreus had to deal with even before we arrived. You know what I mean? And how devastating the Black Tide was as well.
Converge into a boiling river that flows to the heroic heirs of this world.
Oh my god, the imagery's so good.
Aglaya the Gold Weaver, you must gently caress the holy city's silken web and hearken to the sounds and voices of destiny.
Aglaya narrating this is
There
absolutely
shall
beautiful.
be the three-faced messenger traversing through myriad doors, bearing tidings to you from hundreds of worlds. Anaxagoras the
Bearing tides with you from hundreds of worlds. Like a messenger messaging messages from hundreds of worlds? That was
There
different from the
shall be
first one, right?
Three-faced messenger traversing through myriad doors, bearing tidings to you from hundreds of worlds. Anaxagoras
The foolish.
has enough knowledge to refute faith and to stir up a torrent capable of slaying
Caleb
gods.
slaying the gods. And then her calling him foolish, by the way, is a very like a Goliath thing as well, you know? Because again, he was called foolish, right? And again, he has enough knowledge to refute fate. And then in the newer trailer, it's like he did refute fate. And we're going to watch the other trailer again, by the way. I want to make that clear. We're going to watch the other trailer again as well.
Go seek the priest who severs dawn from dusk, and let the sky become the slumbering cot from which she wakes. Make him roar, my
Oh my god. Every time I see it.
Pierce the enemy's king with Kremnos' blood. Set her in motion, Cypher the fleet-footed. Command the frozen time to once again flow.
Yep.
And that servant of the Hand Shadow, the daughter of River Styx. If you grant her the right to embrace, then even frozen death will sleep peacefully. at
If
her
you granted the right to
fingertips.
embrace. And that was another thing as well. Her whole story, like wanting her to be able to embrace. And like this is something that Aglaya wanted for her all along as well, right? Because she wasn't able to embrace anybody as well. She wasn't.
You will hear the sound of the ocean's abyss
goat.
reverberating through the storm. You will see outlanders from faraway realms visiting under the veil of gloom.
Oh, that's so
Until-
cool. That's so cool. I was wondering how they would do this. That's so
Sound of
cool.
The ocean's abyss reverberating through the storm.
That's so
You will
cool.
see outlanders from
That's
faraway-
that's March. But we did obviously you would not know this is March the first time you saw it, right? You wouldn't know this is March. You just wouldn't. The first time you saw this, just factually so, you would not know it's March,
realms visiting
right?
under the veil
People
of
probably
gloom
did guess, but
until the journey's end, when the titans of old
like
have
this is
all
and that's Don
fallen,
Hung.
and the nameless new
Can I ask you guys? Did you guys know? Did people decipher that was March? Probably not. I'm guessing probably not.
realms visiting under the veil of gloom
The Veil of
until
Gloom.
the journey's end, when the titans of old have all
So is that talking about
fallen,
Terravox then as well?
and the nameless new king ascends the throne alongside countless heroes
Different color coding here as well. Oh my
to
god!
embark on the grand mission of deliverance.
In front of the freaking Strife Titan.
I gaze towards the distant future, where the sun shall etch the footprints of humanity. The children of humankind, known as the Chrysos As, shall pluck the god's core flames, and once more uphold
Like
the
it's coming from the
world.
perspective of her flame
The
chase journey,
flame
right?
chase is a journey of
Yeah.
constant loss,
Again, beautiful artwork.
among which even life itself holds
Oh my
little
God.
value.
And that's Is that, well, we can look at the images again, but this is March and Don Hong for sure, right?
Therefore we cast even ourselves into the flame. Only to inscribe the opening stroke
And a guy is in the center now.
in the poem of creation.
And Screwy's not here, and Stell isn't here, and March isn't here, and Don Hong isn't here. That's such a great touch. Oh, but Lygus is there. Oh, only to describe into the poem of creation again there, okay. So, what I want to kind of do, guys, if you like, know this might take a, oh, there's something else here. There's something else here. There's something else.
Most heroes' journeys in the universe are just dice tosses they threw on a whim. Will your answer be any different, Amphoreus?
Oh, man. So, what can we get that line again?
Threw on a whim.
Most heroes' journeys are just a dice throw they threw in a whim. Is that what you said?
Most heroes' journeys in the universe are just dice tosses they threw on a whim.
Right.
Will your answer be any different, Amphoreus?
Amphoreus, and she became such a main player in Amphoreus as well. So am I right in saying...
Of course, this will be a romantic story like none that has come before. You think so too, right?
That is sick. That is so sick. That is so sick. Oh my god, it's so cool. So this would have been the moment, right, like for you guys, where you would have been like, that's Cyrene right away. I obviously got it. I knew it was Cyrene anyway after like we talked about why, because it was the same quote and the same thing, whatever. Like, but this is obviously for people who did watch the trailer before, and that moment then when you see her is like, oh, that's the same quote, right? Yeah, I totally get that, 110%. And again, by the way, this isn't me like, justifying your perspective on what spoilers are my perspective. I'll always go with what I am because I've enjoyed the game in the best way possible for me, and I'm so glad I didn't get to see any of this beforehand. But I totally, like, again, acknowledge like how cool this moment is. 110%, I totally acknowledge it, for sure. That's a great way of doing that. It's like this character, like, but at this point, when was this? This was released, I can check the description actually. When was this out? This came out in November 2024. Jesus Christ. So was that before Amphoreus was still going at this point, was it? Maybe? You guys can tell me the time limit out as well, but that is a really, really cool thing as well. So actually, in actuality, instead of watching the other trailer again, we're going to watch this trailer again, and I'm going to get up the other trailer as well on my phone, and I want to see how the quotes compare as well, right? I think that might be a fun thing to do as well. And when what Herta said at the end, that reminds you of Stell, right? The idea of like that Stell is saying that, let's see here. Going to the playlist. And it is a shorter trailer, obviously, as well, but it goes, and we'll just go to this point as well where like it kind of, started here, I guess. So we can start with, because yeah, like so let's go here and so you guys can't see us right now, but like I might put up maybe a comparison there either. So like this trailer here says it's talking about a millennium of divine conflict,
only a shattered world and an age of darkness.
So the other trailer opens up with the legend that the world was pure chaos. This trailer opens up with, and then the gods cast down the core flames.
In the legend's
and times
beginning,
born. Yeah, so it's the same thing here.
Pure chaos. Then the gods cast down the core flames, and the titans were born within.
Right. Okay.
3 titans carved the heavens.
Now this is
and
different,
earth.
right?
3 wove the threads of fate. 3 molded life with their hands, and 3 guided calamity's gate. The Titans' blaze enlightened civilizations.
See, and this wasn't in the other trailer.
All realms thrived endlessly.
It just skipped right to the black tide.
The golden age was fleeting. And from beyond the sky came the heretical black tide.
Yeah, this is more talking about...
Its gloom was darker than death
They showed
itself.
this stuff, but they didn't talk about this stuff in the other trailer, right? They still showed this imagery, but they didn't talk about exactly what it was. And I suppose it's more Aglaia lamenting what was happening as well, you know?
Driving the Titans to madness, and the mortals to mutual war. Strife broke out across the land.
It's a really powerful
Stain
scene because again, this was such a huge thing as well. The pain of like what the black tide had brought. You know, it was an infection. It infected like what was so good about Amphoreus as well for these people too. You know, even though obviously like it was an extrapolation the whole time, but
consumed the light of dawn. As the gods waged war, the sun itself grew quiet in
Is that Aquila not looking on anymore? Is that what it
A
is?
divine conflict left only a shattered world and an age of darkness.
Brutal stuff. And this is where
The core flames flickered and dimmed, and the age of the gods
the kind
met
of
its
traders
end.
overlap as well.
Golden blood fell to the ground as a distant prophecy resounded. Flow, golden blood, flow.
Right.
Converge into a boiling river that flows to the heroic heirs of this world.
So is that the same line in this trailer too? So in the other trailer, it goes, so this says converge into a boiling river that flows into heroic heirs of this world. They also say in the other trailer, flow, golden blood, flow, converge into a boiling river that flows across the divine descriptions of this world. So this is, so interesting. So it changes from the heroic heirs of this world to the descriptions of this world. Converge into a boiling river. Inscriptions, not descriptions. Divine inscriptions of this world. So it may be like it's because it's not just the heirs who have the blood at this point, maybe? I don't know. And let's see if the Aglaia words are the same.
Aglaia the Gold Weaver.
Aglaia the Chrysalis of Gold, this one says. And maybe I'm getting, that's just what the subtitle, I think it's, yeah, the Aglaia the Chrysalis of Gold here is what it says now. And then it goes to, you must caress the holy city's web and hearken the sound of the stars. And here it's, you must gently caress the holy city's silicon web and hearken the sound of the voices of destiny. Interesting. The hearken the sound of the stars versus the voices of destiny. Do you think that is saying that it's like Amphoreus is bigger than it was before? Like we're actually like reaching the stars and we're hearing from the stars rather than just being like about destiny, because we no longer adhere to destiny right at this point, right?
Gently caress the holy city's silken web and hearken to the sounds and voices of destiny. There shall be the three-faced messenger traversing through myriad doors.
There should be the tree-faced goddess that refers into the myriad passages. So obviously, I know it's a different narrator, so they're saying it different. I just want to look at the differences anyway as well.
Bearing tidings to you from hundreds of worlds. Anaxagoras the Foolish has an...
So Anaxagoras the Foolish is another change as well. Bearing tidings from the universe is what they say for the Tribus there. And then it's Anaxagoras of Reason, again, because it's from Aglaia's perspective as well, right? The Foolish, right? And here in the other one they say has enough knowledge to refute the world. And they say to refute faith here as well, which I think is so interesting as well, because it turns from faith to the world. Originally it was this idea of like refuting the idea of fate, of people's faith in the the Titans and their old beliefs. And this say in the other one it has enough knowledge to refute the world. So it's like not only just like the faith that we have in the Titans, but the world itself and what we know about the world itself. And Serpa torn capable of slaying the gods, and then the other one says Serpa torn capable of enlightening all. And that's the difference, right? Capable of slaying the gods is obviously very different from enlightening all, because it's like the enlightening all is what he wanted in this world, to make everyone think for themselves. This is the whole idea of like slaying the entire gods here. Is maybe what people thought of him before, and someone who wanted the gods to die. Because like slaying the gods is obviously very different from enlightening us all, right? For sure.
Faith, and to stir up a torrent capable of...
Sorry if you hear the
gods.
garbage truck outside, but...
Go seek the priest who severs dawn from...
Go seek the priest who severs dawn. I think that might be similar, very similar anyway. We can see it here anyway. Go seek the holy maiden who severs dawn from dusk. Okay, it's like different, slight differences here as well, I guess.
And let the sky become the slumbering cot from which she wakes.
Yeah, same line here.
Mightimus the Undying.
Make him roar, Mightimus the Undying. Make him return, Mightimus the Lance of Fury, is the subtitle here. Make him return, Mightimus the Lance of Fury. So make him roar, Mightimus the Undying. Make him Mightimus the Lance of Fury. So I guess he took over the Lance of Fury at this point, right? That's who he is. He became the Lance of Fury at this point as well. And make him return is probably his return from, well, he dies and returns all the time. But you can also say maybe returns from Castor and Criminus as well. I want to make sure that this is actually what they're saying. It's not just subtitles here. Hold on a second here.
Go seek the holy maiden
Yeah.
who severs dawn from dusk, and let the sky become the slumbering cot from which she wakes. Make him return.
It is make him return. Sorry. I just want to make sure, because you never know if like I'm have some weird subtitles on here as well. So make him return versus make him roar.
Pierce pierce the enemy's king with Kremnos' blood.
Pierce the enemy's king with her Kremnos' heroic souls. I do think that is very much different. And rather than it being about conquering, it's about like the heroic souls that like, give their souls to this battle, right? And I think that's always a big theme with Mighty as well, where Mighty has gone from being a conqueror, just someone who has given his like sentimentality to people and his memories to people as well. He's not just like this conqueror anymore after this. The next line after that would be, set her at rest, cipher the coin of whimsy, command the frozen titan. I think that might be, so this is Frozen Fate, by the way.
Motion, cipher of the fleet-footed. Command the frozen time to once
It might just be different phrasing. We're reading too much into it. I guess Frozen Time versus Frozen Fate. Frozen Time to me sounds like it's like more like just like a literal thing where like she froze everything in like one time and it hasn't been able to progress forward because she's been like obviously, saying that lie as well. Command Frozen Fate to flow once again. That seems to be like we can't change anything, but now we can with Cypher's help, right? Because Frozen in Time is like a space and time. Frozen Fate is like what can happen in the future, I guess. Maybe I'm not making sense.
And that servant of the Hand Shadow, the daughter of River Styx.
The servant of the Hand Shadow, and that Hand of Shadow, the master of the River of Souls.
If you grant her the right to embrace,
then
even frozen death will sleep peacefully at her fingertips.
She has been granted the right to embrace a warm new life now blossoms at her fingertips. Yeah, again, it's a Gly's perspective before all this versus what happens after this, right? That's what it is. She has now been granted the ability to give life and to save lives as well. Beautiful stuff. What a beautiful change as well. The next one is Hyson's is you will hear the chalice of plenty reverberating through eternity.
You will hear the sound of the ocean's abyss reverberating through the storm.
Such a different line, right? Because that to me then as well, like it's like the ocean's abyss is like, the black tide, the never-ending battle that Hyslins went on to find that feast. But then you compare it then to like, you will hear the chalice of plenty reverberating through eternity. Maybe she's finally found that feast as well, She's actually been able to like do something about the black tide. Maybe. I know you could like give me your insight too. You will see the Veil of Evernight visiting before the break of dawn.
The outlanders from faraway realms visiting under the Veil of Gloom.
That's so cool. Again, that's like instead of like you will see the Veil of Evernight visiting before the break of dawn, it's actually like you'll see outlanders under the Veil of Gloom.
The sound of the ocean's abyss reverberating through the storm.
And it's the same scene. It's the same scene with Evernight watching the train come by here. But it goes from outlanders from faraway realms to the Veil of Evernight visiting before the break of dawn.
Outlanders from faraway realms visiting under the Veil of Gloom until the journey's end, when the Titans of old have all fallen.
Until the journey's end when the Titans of old have all fallen. And the difference here is until the journey's end, when all begins. Sorry, what? Versus the Titans of old fallen, it goes unto the journey's end, when all begins reach the end of the earth. When all begins reach the end of the earth. When all begins reach end of the earth. When all beings, sorry, I'm looking at my phone. When all beings reach the end of the earth. That's when all begins. When all beings, I'm just looking at my phone with the sun shining on it. And that's another difference there. So when all beings reach the end of the earth versus when all the Titans have fallen, is it more hopeful? Where it's like we've like reached like Earth itself. We've connected with Earth. And the next one is a nameless new king ascends the throne alongside countless heroes. And the line comparison here as well is, and the nameless new king who ascends the throne alongside countless heroes. So it's the same thing as well.
The new king ascends the throne.
But the difference is, and it's so cool, it's Stell standing before Lygus versus Phynon standing before the ruler of Strife here. I always forget the name. Jesus Christ. The Strife Titan. What is his name? Nicodor. That's such a big difference here because it's like, it's legitimately, the deliverance means something different now compared to what it did before. The journey that they've been on the Flame Chase journey has changed completely. Not just in Stell versus Phynon, but also the mission that they had. It's not just about collecting the 12 Titans anymore. It was also like fighting against Lygus too. Like the mission has changed completely. So cool the way they did that.
Of deliverance.
I've witnessed the distant past.
I gaze towards the distant future.
Stop!
Where the sun shall etch the footprints of humanity.
Where the sun shall etch the footprints of humanity versus where the blazing sun once etched. The sun did get to etch the footprints of humanity. The Finon did. The children of humanity, known as Chrysos heirs, have restored the gods' core flames.
The children of humankind, known as the Chrysos heirs, shall pluck the gods' core
Oh my
flames.
god, it's just
and
she's a
once
follow-up.
more
That's what it is. I'm sorry for
uphold the
comparing it
world.
like this. Maybe people probably think this is annoying, but
The
like,
flame chase is a journey of constant
and it's a similar
loss,
line too. There's Finon.
among which even life itself.
And after fight, so that might, yeah, that's Heistlands. They didn't want to show us Heistlands right away. It's
holds little
Evernight,
value.
it's Dan Hong, and it's
Therefore,
Saridra.
we cast even ourselves into the flame.
Therefore, we even cast ourselves in the flame again at the same time too, only to inscribe the opening stroke of the poem of creation.
Only to inscribe the
Yeah,
opening
same thing, but
stroke
it's different this time as well.
in the poem of creation.
Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. And of course, we had in the first trailer here, we had her to speak up after this as well, talking about the idea of like a hero like is just throwing the dice, you know?
Most heroes' journeys in the universe are just dice tosses they threw on a whim. Will your answer be any different, Amphoreus?
Really cool stuff.
Of course, this will be a romantic
I love this as well.
story
This comparison is great too.
You think so too, right?
That's a great pause as well. Yeah, so like my comparison with these traders obviously is like Aglaia's perspective on this world, right? And what she sees the world. We saw like the differences, and it does seem like to me it is like from Aglaia's perspective of talking about like what she sees. Like again, the perspective was of the first Flame Chase journey when we first arrived, which was a completely different story. The world is opened up, and like the Flame Chase journey is still on, and we're still going on the Flame Chase journey, the final Flame Chase journey, but it means something different now. Whereas before it was trying to pluck the 12 Titans and bring in Aranova, it's completely changed altogether. What the true meaning of this whole Flame Chase journey is. It's no longer just about taking down Nicodor and taking all the Titans down and taking their core flames. It's almost like there's a bonus level after that. And you see those comparisons in the trailer where like even like in small things, like for example, like, you know, since it's not Aglaia narrating anymore, it's like, you know, Anaxagoras the you know is called foolish in the first one because of Aglaia. That's a cool comparison. But it's also about like how, you know, he's gonna in the first one, there's this perception that he like hates, he's going to slay the gods. He's going, and maybe figuratively, the idea of like killing the idea of the gods versus him actually giving enlightenment to everybody. That's what he got to do in the end. You know what I mean? Casters, wanting Casters to be able to embrace people so she could like, you know, what was it, warm or frozen touch versus her finding getting to embrace people and embracing life as well. Something that she gets to do now as well. Midamos's return in the second part of the trailer, or the second trailer, or the second cutscene, I guess, as well. That's so impactful at the same time too. There's so many little differences here that shows like, you know, the differences in the journeys. The Flame Chase journey has changed and evolved. Look at the thing, again, the biggest one is Stell standing before Lygus with the pen in her hand versus Finon standing before Nicodor with the sword in hand. Because that represents everything what's changed here. This was a Flame Chase journey where it was going to go in cycles upon cycles upon cycles upon cycles upon cycles over and over again. That's what they did over and over again. You know, taking the Titan's core flames, bringing the Aranova. It was all one big extrapolation. But at the time, the way Aglaia is speaking, she didn't know this. She didn't know it was one big extrapolation. But then the second cutscene, as we're bringing in the New Dawn, it's a lot more hopeful. It's talking about all the characters in like a much more brighter light. We're remembering them in a much more brighter light because the achievements that they've had there as well. You talk about the difference between time and fate with Cypher. That means to me the difference in time and fate is frozen time is like being stuck in place. Fate is the idea of like not frozen fate is like you can't change your future. Whereas with frozen fate being like changed, that means that we can change our future in that moment as well, right? It's a really cool way of like showing the differences there. Even like little things like, you know, having like the Abyss turning from the Abyss with Heistlands to the Chalice of Plenty, showing that she has gotten her feet, she has been able to move forward, and she has been able to do stuff here for the Chrysos heirs as well. There's all these like little tiny differences that to me are impactful because they show the journey that this Flame Chase journey has been on, that this Flame Chase journey was. Like, it's a really powerful way of doing this. And as I said, people are going to say, well, Calvin, that's why you wanted to watch the trailer beforehand. I'm still very glad I didn't, because obviously I like going into everything as blind as possible, but I will always watch the trailers afterwards. Like, that's what I will do, and it's always going to be my stance on this stuff. I know, again, I'm not going against anybody or being mean to anybody, because you can ask for a trailer. It's not going to upset me. But I also like will let people know that like, you know, don't always expect a trailer to happen. That's not how things work, you know. But it's one of those things where like I acknowledge that people say like, well, Calvin, like I would want you to watch this before, because I love this kind of impactful moment. But for me as well, it's also a thing where like I like to go in as like completely fresh as possible without like knowing a damn thing, you know. And again, I know people say, well, Calvin, they're kind of supposed to be watched. And I understand that that's the thing. Some of these trailers, like Honkai Star Rail, intends you to watch before, and I'm very, very aware of this. But still, I'm not really changing my stance and my perspective on this, and I still can watch the trailers after that. That's just my feelings on this, and that's what I'm sticking to as well, personally. But still, I did want to watch these trailers with you guys before I got into this final section too. But I love the differences. I love the impact of like seeing, you know, Cyrene, like, and I guess I watched it in reverse order, but I still think it's really fun to see like, oh my god, like Cyrene's here now, and then like the quote is like the same from the second part. But obviously the perspective on the whole New Dawn has changed, and the journey they've been on has changed. It's no longer a journey just to take down the core flames, which is already huge when you think about it. Like they showed the pain that the Black Tide brought and all the stuff that they were trying to combat, the suffering that they went through. It was already a very serious journey, which a lot of like terrifying things happening. But then like it turned into actually more a journey with these realized characters who are at their like most, and I said this in the video recently, they're at their like best, they're at their peak, they're at the moments in time where they are like at their most them. It is them fully, right? All these characters, like, when I even said it during the video recently, it's like Midamos is like fully about the togetherness rather than the conquering. Cypher is fully just openly saying that she wants everyone to be prosperous and happy. Castris is openly, discarding death and talking about the idea of embracing life and saving lives. Anaxagoras is able to like, join with everybody and still like stays true to himself and saying, I'm not here to like, look down on anybody, but like I want everyone to think for themselves. There's all these little things that happen with these characters now where it really feels like this trailer also represents these characters being in a completely different place from they were when we started this journey as well. Also, it's sad as well because we see Finon like, he was this hero, he was the guy, and he still is. And we talked about this in the last video as well that just came out on Thursday. He still is the guy. He still is this dude who will like stand up for like Amphoreus and protect Amphoreus. But it's just a thing that he's doing in a different fashion now. But it's still sad to see him like standing before Nicodor because again, how far have we come with this journey of looking at this trailer? How far have we come seeing the guy who was supposed to be the deliverer transition into being one of the most brokenly, I don't want to call anyone broken. I hate doing that, but it's just something that's like, it's, it comes to mind in that way, but like someone who's like been broken down and hurt and pain, and then becoming this hero and still this world bearer, but like in a different fashion, and Stell being the one to take up that deliverer. But instead of having the sword, the Dawnbreaker, she has the pen in her hand as well. It's just such a cool transition. That scene is so striking. And then also seeing Screwy and Herta standing in the circle as well, seeing March and Dan Hong. It's like the journey has changed, not just with Stell and Finon. Who was on this journey with us has changed the Flame Chase journey. Screwy, Herta, Dan Hong, March. It's all changed completely. And it's changed everyone's fates. And just like Herta said in the first trailer, right? Will it be a roll of the dice? What is it going to be? Stell got there, right person, right time. That's what Stell is. She's not the chosen one. She can be. She can be technically a chosen one, but she's the right person, right time. And Herta was right all along with that stuff. She really was. Yeah, it's a fantastic trailer. As I said, I will be watching trailers, and when I get to a certain point, we'll be watching all of them at a certain point. This is going to happen 110%. But I'm very, very glad we got to see this as well. So cool. And we have one more trailer to watch today. Yeah. So this is the Myriad Celestia trailer, Fables About the Stars Part 2. Let's check this out, guys. My heart's pounding, man. Whenever we get to watch these Myriad Celestia trailers, they always have like some meaty stuff in it. But yeah, let's watch it. Oh.
The last time I was on Meijua was centuries ago.
Pity that you now come not as a hero.
She's my hero.
But a prisoner. Put the abundance in their grave, empty talk.
The divination matrix will naturally determine whether your words are trustworthy.
Stop, what?
Fine. As we always say on the Cienjo.
She looks amazing.
Seeing is believing.
Oh my god. What's that transition? Can I say as well though, like, she is my hero, but like it's really cool to see like this moment because we knew that she was held captive, right? And We knew she was like, I think we even knew like long before even the last scene. I think maybe I'm wrong. They said something about her being captive as well. But seeing her like standing there, you can see like even like Genuine doesn't even want to look at her. Not because he hates her, but because there is a genuine thing I feel like in his feelings where it's like, where it genuinely upsets him that like one of his closest compatriots, comrades, family, loved ones isn't here as a hero. Because again, that's what like again once again reminded the fact that like Jing Liu is seen as like a terrible person to the people of the Xian show. And again, that association can hurt him as well in some ways too. But again, an amazing scene here, seeing Jing Liu with her eyes open. Whenever she does like expose her eyes, it's one of the best things in the game. It really is.
Fine. As we always say on the Xianzhou, seeing is
So incredible.
believing.
Great artwork.
A war of gods has
Wait.
already begun in the Abacus's calculated
That's Beelzebub.
future. The Lord Ravager's wish will be fulfilled,
Oh.
and an eon will fall.
And there's Robin as well.
This
Oh,
is
it's
a
like the
chess game
black
between
tide spreading.
gods, as each
This is really cool. It's like showing like the black tide. So I'm guessing this is like a like kind of like a, you know, if Iron Tomb is able to succeed and destroy the world, this is what will happen.
will be fulfilled.
Like we can see the Xian show.
And an eon will fall.
Wait, so I'm sorry I keep pausing. I know people are going to, again, I'm not actually sorry I'm paused because again, like pausing is okay because I'm going to do it. This is the machine that's in Beelzebub, right? So it's getting infected by the black tide.
Calculated future.
Holy hell.
The Lord Ravager's wish will be fulfilled.
And Jing Liu
and
talked
an
about this?
eon will fall.
Oh my god.
This is a chess game between gods. As each piece falls to counter
Look,
the
oh
next.
my god.
Why not take advantage of it for our own
For our own goals?
The Alliance already has the Swarm Author's remains to kill a god.
Oh my.
We just need to temper the Hunt's arrowheads with the Ruin's golden blood.
So that's what they want to do with the golden blood. Amongst this war, the gods, they want to like use the golden blood for the Rainbow Arbiter? Again, I'm not sorry for pausing, guys. I'm not sorry whatsoever.
Take advantage of it for our own goals. The Alliance already has the Swarm Author's remains.
So we have the Swarm
kill
Author's
a god.
remains to kill a god.
We just need to temper the Hunt's arrowheads.
So
with the Ruin's
put the golden blood on the Arbiter's arrowheads? To aim it towards a god? Are you insane? Oh my god. This is a trap? Maybe she's carrying out an even more important order?
A colleague told me that
Oh wait, was there no voice acting at this time? I forgot about this. That's so interesting because I was like, why is it not saying it? Maybe she's carrying out an even more important order. This is so
a
sick.
colleague told me that the Xianzhou Alliance is not our enemy.
Who's this?
So why not join this great feast?
Huh?
And observe how billions of beating
What is that?
hearts walk into irreversible
What is that?
demise.
Indeed.
F
Death
off.
is not a process, but the outcome. Let the ignorant hunter raise their bow.
That's the hunt? Why is there machine guns? What? Why is that a machine gun?
They believe in,
Was that like showing the future?
and ultimately kill themselves.
Oh my god, is that? Sorry.
Indeed.
No, is it? Because the flowers and stuff remind me of Fantilia.
Death is not a process.
It's not a process. So I'm gonna keep looking back at this.
Alliance is not our
Xianzhou
enemy.
Alliance is not our enemy.
So why not join this great feast
Join this great feast.
and observe how billions of beating hearts walk into
So it's just like let them do this? Is that
demise.
what they're saying? Like she retreated?
Death is not a process, but the
So just
outcome.
letting them do this.
Let the ignorant hunter raise their bow and kill what they
Oh my god! So let them destroy things,
and ultimately
and it will end in something like
kill
this.
themselves.
It's like saying what the future outcome will be. Let them do this. let them raise their bow, right? I think even we got a note from Fantilia. Remember, she was saying that she wasn't going to get, like, she didn't care about like the fall of like a god, or the fall of like one of her companions, or like a fellow lord or whatever, because again, it's interesting to her. It's curious. She wants to see this happen. So it feels like she is saying, like, in terms of like this idea of like letting people destroy themselves, let the hunt try and use the golden blood to, it seems, to kill a god, right? Let them do this, because I'll get to watch the process.
So, what's the point in this process?
Huh?
Just for it to feel like a ceremony?
Who's this?
Well, it's not like I have a right to complain about ceremonies.
Yeah? What the frick is that?
I'm born for worlds that can no longer last.
What the hell is that? Is that golden blood?
Do you still remember what happened?
I saw a spot of light that dimmed the star.
Whoa.
Then existence itself was torn, leaving only a despairing white, enveloping both entropy and time.
So we know Acheron showed up like wasn't Acheron like in a part of Amphoreus as well at one point as well? Was it a flashback of some kind, or like a vision of some kind in our memory as well? What the hell was that? The golden blood coming down as well.
We salute thee, blemished one. In defiance of the cosmic
That's Fantilia,
rules
right?
that bind all, we offer a magnificent
Room?
Together, beneath your gaze, we bear witness to a colleague's end. Be it coronation or
Oh my-
collapse, the end of their yearning is the same.
Wait, is this Selenova? Is that what they were saying with Selenova? When they say that, like, again, this has to be Fantilia, right? When they're saying we reached a colleague's end, are they talking about like Iron Tomb? But they're saying like it doesn't matter whether it is like Hertz succeeds, or it doesn't matter if someone else destroys him. If it's a coronation, or if it's a destruction, or the front lines destroys them, we still will get to witness this.
bind all, we offer a magnificent ruin.
My heart is pounding.
Together, beneath your gaze, we bear witness to a
Colleague's end.
Be it coronation or collapse, the end of their yearning is the same.
Is that what they're saying Selenova is? Crazy cool design, by the way. Oh. How's this now?
Just to witness? That feels like formalism.
And who are you?
Even if every genius in the cosmos dropped dead,
The dice?
what's that got to do with us?
What the hell is that?
Still not enough for you? The fools will only flounder
My
in
heart is pounding.
tears after the wise have been buried.
Cease your chatter.
Who's saying this now?
The sun has risen from the end of time.
Who's this?
When Iron Tomb finally breaks its shell,
Oh god, you look so cool.
calculations will meet the end.
But who could say that Akavili on a new journey won't bring another salvation?
Trailblazing always ends up igniting something, no?
Jesus, frick, what are we looking at here?
Then, they'll achieve an even more majestic ruin.
Oh my god. The nuke staring right down at us.
Prisoner who picked up Starfire. If you are to become the first
My heart is pounding here.
then come and leave the cave with me.
Oh, not the cave.
And in that fable
Anything
about
but the cave.
stars, we'll pen the prayer
Oh my god.
destruction.
Anything but the cave. Anything but the cave. Am I right in saying that they were Lord Ravengers? Right? They were all Lord Ravengers. Because like if Antilia's openly communicating with them, if they're talking about their colleague, you know what I mean, in terms of Iron Tomb, like, they have to be all Lord Ravengers, right? My heart is is beating out of my chest right now. Is that what we're getting at here as well?
For you?
No, I think I want to go back to here.
We salute thee,
Who's Blemished One?
In defying.
This is such a cool design. Like, she is awesome, right? Like, again, even though, like, again, they did such a good job with the designs here. Right, they did such a fantastic job with the design here. Like, she still is scary, but like the design is just fantastic, right? It really is fantastic. Like, it's we salute you, Blemished One. The only thing, like, it's again, we'll look through everything again. She looks fantastic. We offer a magnificent rune, so if they're offering rune, that would be offering destruction. Isn't Nanook who's the Blemished One then?
Together, beneath your gaze, we bear witness
Yeah,
to a
because like they are Lord Ravengers. They follow the destruction, right? Of course, it's the Nuke.
end.
We were
Be it coronation or collapse.
Coronation or collapse. Is this Selenova? Like they said earlier on with Selenova backing off, like Selenova's not like. But like when they say coronation or collapse, coronation is what would happen if like the body of the Iron Tomb gained the head of the droid head, or if Herta completed the coronation either, or collapse will be if we were able to defeat him in the end. Either or, we will see Iron Tomb will be released, and Iron Tomb in some ways, no matter what, will either be coronated, we'll have a self-coronation, we'll see, and new, you know, in that sense, or it will be collapse as well. Now, you could say colleague is also, could be noose, right? In that case, it could mean the same thing as well, where it's like the coronation, or it could be collapse. Either they're going to be coronated with noose, or with Iron Tomb, or they're going to be destroyed. I don't know which one they're talking about here, if they're talking about, like, you know, the Iron Tomb falling, or they're talking about noose falling.
The end of their yearning is the same.
Such a cool design as well. Look at this. Like, in such a contrast to Fantilia. Fantilia feels very like almost like swampy and kind of like at one with that kind of like darkness with the swamp like nature as well. And this is kind of like really bright and still very like almost like tentacle like, which I feel like is very fitting with the theme of like a Lord Ravager, right? Like their hands reach everywhere. In this case, it's her hair, it's the flowing parts of her outfit, but she looks really cool as well. This thing.
Just to witness?
So they're saying this guy's saying just to witness. Is this another Lord Ravager?
That feels like formalism. Even if every
Gotta hand it to him.
genius in the cosmos drop dead, what's that got to do with us?
So he's saying like why would we care if like all the geniuses died?
Still not enough for you.
Saying that's not enough, okay.
The fools will only flounder in tears after the wise have been buried.
So once this, so they're saying again, that's the idea of like maybe what Lygus was saying too. If like all the geniuses are gone, like what like the people who don't think for themselves, what are they going to do?
Cease your chatter. The sun has risen from the
Who is this?
end of time.
I have to imagine they're all Lord Ravengers, right? That would make sense if they're all following the Nuke as well. When Iron Tomb finally breaks its shell, she's so cool. I'm sorry, but like, come on. And this one talking about swamp light with like sludge falling from her, like it's like she's constantly melting. You know what I mean? It's such a crazy cool design. The Erudition's calculations will meet its end.
Erudition's calculations will meet the end.
Is that Noose, or is that the Scepter?
But who could say that Akavili on a new journey won't bring
Akavili on a new journey? What do you mean? Like, do they mean the Trailblazer? Like, do they mean Akavili literally, or did they mean like the Trailblazers bringing new salvation? So cool. The design is so cool. And these hands reaching the back too. These Lord Ravengers are terrifying. If it is Lord Ravager, right? I don't know if that's what they're going for, but it makes sense if they talk about like a colleague. It makes sense if they're talking about the if they're following the Nuke. Yeah, it just makes sense. It just, all of it makes sense. The following the Nuke, they're talking about the colleague as well, and the fact that Fantilia is conversing with them as well makes sense. That would be like Lord Ravager as well, but this is a really cool design as well.
Trailblazing always ends up igniting something.
There it is. Okay, so they are talking about Trailblazers in terms of Akavili. So it's like the idea of like what happens if Akavili comes along and they like, or like Trailblazer comes along and actually brings salvation. So they're thinking that the Trailblaze like will go so far with their like igniting of something that it will make an even more terrifying ruination. Is that what they're saying here?
Prisoner who picked up Starfire.
Picked up Starfire.
If you are to become the first spark.
First spark. Okay, I mean, when we talk about first spark, that is like the idea that like where the story begins, right? The thing that's that brings forth this new dawn. That just writes the first page of the poem, right?
Then come and leave the cave with me, and in that fable about the stars, we'll pen the prelude of destruction.
Oh my god, they yassified him at the end. Yeah, like so. What I'm getting from this section of the trailer is they're talking about witnessing the fall of again. Are they
not enough for
do you think they're talking about Noose or they're talking about, because when they say colleague, I think Iron Tomb, but then like
the blemished one?
Yeah.
In defiance of the cosmic roots that bind all, we offer a magnificent ruin.
Together, beneath your gaze, we bear witness to a colleague's
Because like that to me, I mean, could that be? I love this design as well. Like maybe I could be confused. You guys can correct me on this as well. Like it's a colleague to me sounds like it's their fellow colleague, but are they talking about maybe it's also the colleague of, sorry, Nuke as well. You know, could it be that as well? Because it's like they're offering, when they say they're offering the end of this to bear witness to the end of this colleague, like they clearly like it's offering a ruination of this too, because they feel like no matter what there's going to be some sort of like spark that brings destruction. Like no matter what, the destruction will happen, whether it be the destruction of like the Eon, destruction of Iron Tomb, the Trailblazers, like, you know, extending their arms so forward that it could bring something else as well. Maybe as well. Let me like, we can maybe watch the whole trailer one more time just so we can get everything in perspective again. Right? For sure. Let's watch it again.
The last time I was on the Yuchue was centuries ago.
Pity that you now come not as a hero, but a prisoner. Put the abundance in their grave, empty talk.
The divination matrix will naturally
So they're trying to see if they can trust her in this moment as well.
trustworthy.
Fine. As we always say on the Cienjo, seeing is believing.
I mean, so she's seems to have like witnessed this stuff, right? We see Balebog here being destroyed by the infected Black Tide.
War of Gods.
The War of Gods has already begun.
In the Abacus's calculated future.
And you see the Xian Shou here also being destroyed by the Black Tide. You see Gwainofen is there. Bailu is there on the ground as well.
The Lord Ravager's wish will be fulfilled.
So it's like Iron Tomb will be fulfilled.
And an Eon will fall.
So they're saying the Eon of Eridation will fall. So again, as we said, they believe, or like in Jing Liu's mind, that like this is going to happen, right, one way or another. And in a way, it kind of will be that way, because regardless, there's Topaz, by the way, regardless of, because I don't see it as like a thing where they're telling us what's going to happen. It's like, because regardless of what's going to happen, no matter what, either we destroy Iron Tomb, right, and I guess we can prevent this from happening, but also if everything goes to crap, like there's two other choices, which is like, the droid head will take Noose as their coronation. And then we'll also have the possibility of Herta taking Noose as a coronation as well. So in some ways, in her vision, she probably saw that as the most succinct possibility. Because there was no way of knowing at this point that like the Trailblazer would be able to prevent all of this, right? There's the Black Tide infecting the Memoria as well.
Gods, as each piece falls to counter the next, why not take advantage of it for?
So this is where she gave him the idea of using the golden blood.
The Alliance already has the Swarm Author's remains to kill a god. We just need to temper the hunt's arrowheads.
So do you think that like she's saying, why don't we do this? Why don't we try and kill a god? We can have the power to kill a god. And maybe then at that stage, maybe it's not just like they're thinking of killing, maybe they're going after the abundance as well with this power too, you know?
With the ruins golden blood.
So that section is Jingliu talking about like how what she sees happening, it seems, in the future, with the Iron Tomb rising and the irradiation falling and the war against between the gods already starting. So Jingliu is kind of saying like, okay, let's get involved in this. Let's see what we can get involved with this as well. Let's use the golden blood to have the power to destroy a god. To have the power to destroy a god is a big bargaining chip. Selenova regions are retreating. Is this a trap? So that's why I think it's that lady in white is like Selenova. Maybe she's carrying an even more important order. This is when she realized that Xianqiu wasn't an enemy as well, right? That's what she saw it as.
A colleague told me.
A colleague told me that Xianqiu was not... Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, a colleague sounds to me like Iron Tomb then. I'm not here. I think the colleague here could be like another... she's not going to call Noose a colleague, right? She's not.
It's not our enemy.
She's okay.
So why not join this great feast? And observe how billions of beating hearts
So sick.
walk into irreversible
So again, this is offering the demise, right? Where it's like, why not let them do this? Why let's not try and fight the Xianqiu. Let's let them walk into something that could be very destructive. Let's let them do something that could be very destructive. It's kind of like handing someone like a weapon and then just seeing what they do with it. In this case, it's like, okay, let's step away. They're not our enemies. Let's let them bring destruction because that's what they want. They want irreversible demise.
Indeed.
Oh, she's so cool.
Death is not a process, but the outcome.
Death is not a process, but the outcome. It's like they. I guess like it's saying like it's like the. To not think about it as like a constant thing of like we have to bring death. Like I don't know. Maybe, look, I know for a fact they're just here to saying like, oh, they want the outcome to be constant death, but I don't know what it really means by that's just not the process, but the outcome.
Let the ignorant hunter
I get this.
raise their bow and kill what they love.
I think this whole thing with the guns here, what this appears to me is not saying like, hey, we're about to have a full-scale war with guns. This is them saying that destruction leads to more destruction, war leads to more war. And again, this is why, in a lot of ways, what Jin Yuan said was wrong. And I always called this out too, like the idea like, you know, of violence bringing more peace. In this case, that's not what's happening. It's depicting here that like this whole destruction of like Jin Yuan using the arrows to destroy maybe the gods or maybe his enemies and stuff like this too. Like it, like, let them kill what they love, let them keep destroying things, and eventually will lead to like more war. Which that's what happens in real life. It's like, you know, you kill one force and like another force sprouts up as well.
What they believe
in.
And ultimately, kill.
And this is ultimate destruction as well. So it's like, and I don't know what the phrasing could use here. It's like, you know, letting someone trip themselves up. You know, let them do this. Let them destroy themselves. By letting them, you know, use the golden blood in this arrow. By letting them release Iron Tomb. By letting them do all, maybe destroy Iron Tomb or destroy Noose. Let them do all this stuff, and we will bring a destruction and a ruination that like you've never seen before. Again, as we said, we saw those documents where Fantilia was like, yeah, I'm just kind of curious to see what's going to happen here. Now, will they let that happen? Because obviously this was pre-knowledge of the fact that the Trailblazers were going to do something like they've done now, but they've already like accounted for that too, thinking that the Trailblazers are going to bring an even more significant situation in history.
So, what's the point in this process?
What's the point of the process?
Just for it to feel like a ceremony? Well, it's not like I have a right to complain about ceremonies.
This is a crazy image, by the way. The golden blood seeping down through like countless bodies, all the hands reaching up to the sky. I mourn for worlds that can no longer laugh.
Mourn for worlds that can no longer laugh.
Do you still remember what happened?
I saw a spot of light that dimmed the
Dimmed the star.
Then existence itself was torn.
Is that to do with irradiation and Noose as well? Who is this guy
Only
here?
a despairing white,
Love Acheron.
enveloping both entropy and time.
It just makes sense that Acheron will be back as well, by the way. She is like one of the most important characters in the game, and only makes sense that we'd see her multiple times again. If entry pops up, I'm gay.
We salute thee,
I think they're talking to Nanook here, right? They're talking to Nanook. And again, look at this sludge falling down, man. Sludge green.
In defiance of the cosmic roots that bind all.
In defiance of the cosmic roots we offer. So maybe, like, that's why I think it could be also talking about the idea of noose, right? But this the way they say colleague.
We offer a magnificent ruin.
Or maybe it's just the idea that it's going against, like, the Erudation's plans, right? Iron Tomb being born, and then eventually maybe even, like, the ruination of Iron Tomb or even the ruination of Noose is, like, going against the ideas of, like, the cosmos themselves, right?
Together, beneath your gaze, we bear witness to a colleague's end.
Colleague's end.
Be it coronation or collapse.
See, that's the thing is about coronation or collapse. Coronation is like the concept that they would that the noose would become Iron Tomb's head. Collapse would mean that it would be destroyed, right? So that's why I think it could be talking about either or, but also could be saying that, like, either it's like a coronation where Noose dies or a collapse where Iron Tomb dies. Again, I'm not totally sure about this, but you guys can let me know about that as well.
The end of their yearning is the same.
That's such a cool design. Oh my god. You know what? I think she could be a good person. Right? Good design equals good person. No, of course not. Of course not. We can like a design and also acknowledge that, like, the Lord Ravengers are terrifying and absolutely, you know, a terrifyingly evil force in this world, you know? Always.
Just to witness? That feels like formalism. Even if every genius in the cosmos dropped dead, what's that got to do with us?
Look at this design, man. You can really feel that Handy McGunderson over here believes he has the right to live. Like what is this? What is this? Look at this.
Still not enough for you? The fools will only flounder in tears after the wise.
So that's what it makes me feel like. If Erudation's gone, then there's like, I think it might be talking about Erudation then, because the idea of, like, if Erudation's dead, then it is a situation that everyone will kind of, like, start, like, not knowing what to do. It's like they would run around, like, not having, like, an understanding of what they have to do next, right? They'd be floundering because they've been depending on, and again, that's what, like I said, people depend too much on Noose.
Cease your chatter.
Cease the chatter.
The sun has risen from the end of time.
The sun has risen from the end of time. Is that Finon?
When Iron Tomb finally breaks its shell.
She's so cool, man. Sludge Queen. Again, evil as heck. These characters are evil. Are they bathing in golden blood as well, by the way? Sludge Queen in the golden blood.
The Erudition's calculations will meet the end.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so they're saying when Iron Tomb is born, then Erudation will fall. They want Erudation to fall. They want this to be like the ultimate form of destruction. But, like, again, regardless of what, I feel like they're also saying, though, regardless of the destruction that happens, it's going to be amazing. They just want to offer destruction to Nanook.
But who could say that Akavili on a new journey won't bring another self?
So that's why I think he's saying that, like the Trailblaze. Will the Trailblaze step in?
Trailblazing always ends up igniting something.
Yes.
No.
So it's seeing as a spark for dynamite.
Then they'll achieve an even more majestic ruin.
That's what I'm... Okay, right. This as well. First of all, Nanook, hi. Blemished one maybe is a scar on his face. When they're saying they'll achieve more majestic ruin, do you think that's also them also having faith in the Trailblaze that, like, they will change the world completely, whereas, let's say Iron Tomb actually is defeated. Let's say that Herta does the coronation. Let's say something else happens. Like, no matter what, there will be some sort of, like, a destructive force happening, because, again, there's an igniting of a flame here, igniting of a spark. So they believe even if the Trailblaze do get involved and try to stop Iron Tomb, and stop Iron Tomb, something else will come out of it entirely as well.
Prisoner who picked up Starfire. If you are to become the first spark, then come and leave the cave with me. And in that fable about the stars, we'll pen the prelude of destruction.
Really cool stuff. Yeah, this was a really cool trailer. Like, it really was. And, like, I spent a lot of time on it there because, again, obviously I'm not going to fully understand everything because we're not supposed to, like, fully... Again, it's like a teaser for, like, what's to come. In my view, what we saw there was an understanding of what the Xian show wants. The Xianqiu wants to use that golden blood, or at least like that's the suggestion that Jing Liu gave, to use the golden blood as a way of like strengthening the arrows. And it could be symbolic. It might not just be directly giving it to the Rainbow Arbor. If it is, that's absolutely insane. That is insane. It's already insane to use the golden blood regardless. So like it's like this thing where they're going to use the golden blood against the Rainbow Arbiter, right? For the Rainbow Arbiter, or for the Xianqiu and for the hunt. We know that Jin Yuan is going to use it as a bargaining chip to like make the Luofu more desirable in the eyes of the people here as well, in the eyes of the Alliance. But it like can be used. It's like the way Jing Liu described it is like, we know the war amongst the gods is already happening. We know that there's going to be something destructive that happens in the future here. The Black Tide is coming. Why not get involved in this in a way that like makes us like it benefits us? The suggestion of using the golden blood is obviously a big part of that as well. It's not just obviously that stuff with Jing Liu as well though. I feel like it's also like, showing Selenova has backed off a little bit, and showing all the other, Lord Ravengers, which is a great reveal of like these designs as well. I thought they actually looked really, really cool as well. Whether it be like, I think Selenova, and I think there's also Fantilia there as well. I don't know the names of the other ones, but it's a really cool reveal of these designs too. And what they're expressing, again, I'm not totally sure, but like for me, it sounds like they want to see the fall of Erudition, because this would be a great offering in terms of like a massive amount of destruction, to offer the blemished one, a magnificent rune, which is what they want, right? They want to spread destruction. They want the destruction to spread. And even if it fails, they say like, hey, if the Trailblazers do something as well, it's like there's still gonna be something incredible that happens at the end of this stuff as well too. The thing that tripped me up was like the whole thing of bear witness to the colleague's end, because to me it's like, would Selenova call her? And by the way, Selenova, where did we hear that before? We've heard it in game, right? Because like to me, like it's almost like an old friend in my mind. Like the idea of the name Selenova pops up in my mind. I know we related to like Selenova's forces backing off. I think they mentioned it actually in the recent thing. Maybe they mentioned before that as well. But it feels like one of those things where it pops into my head like a friend did, like it's like an old friend or something, as well. But yeah, they say they're going to offer rune to Nanook. They're going to watch the... they even said like they backed off against the Xianqiu because they want the Xianqiu to like enact this battle. They want them to go forth with their attacks, because then that means there will be rune. They'll all kill themselves in the end, and then they can have this thing where it's like, well, yeah, we get to witness the ultimate destruction. But Selenova says like we're bearing witness to the colleague's end, be it a coronation or collapse, right? That's a big thing. But in the end, it's the same. Now, that's what makes me think like it might be Noose they're talking about, because if they're talking about a coronation, again, that is the taking of Noose's brain and putting it as a part of Iron Toon's body. But collapse also means that it could be Noose just getting destroyed. You guys let me know if you think we're talking about Iron Toon or they're talking about Noose in this sense. Maybe like in the end it does matter. Obviously it does matter, but there's in the end what they want is like a ruination, a destruction, something so powerful and destructive that it's terrifying, right? The other one said the sun has risen from the end of time. Does that mean it's like, oh, Finon is here, Finon is coming? So maybe there's, again, it sounds like with them mentioning the Trailblazer and the sun rising, that there is some stuff that could stop this in its tracks as well, possibly. They say like is what they're talking about, like again when because they talk about the reason I talk about there could be news, so like when Iron Tomb reaches its breaks from Michelle, the Erudition's calculations will meet its end. The thing is, right? The thing is, Iron Tomb is like coming from Michelle. The thing is about that, right? Is this could mean multiple things, and it's almost like a blanket statement in a way, because when Iron Tomb breaks from its shell, it's either going to take Noose and become a part of it, or Herta's going to try and become a part of Noose, and then at that point, their calculations will change again. She will put it in her view as well. So in a way, when they say the Erudition's calculations will meet its end, it's kind of correct on both fronts. Even though they probably didn't know what Herta was going to be doing, it is still right on both fronts in a way where it's like, yes, if Iron Tomb like coronates himself, or if they're able to destroy the Erudition in some ways, or if they're able to, if Herta does this coronation, there will be like an end of the Erudition in their eyes, right? In some ways. And then they say like, will that Akavili on a new journey won't bring her salvation. That to me screams the idea of like, will the Trailblazers do something again? Will they arrive again and do something? Because that's what they always do. And they said like, hey, that's going to ignite a spark as well. Some big change happens when the Trailblazers arrive, and that always is the case. But I feel like with our Trailblazers 2, though, like, while there is like a big change that happens, do they see like us like destroying Cocolia as a destruction? Do they see us like, you know, fighting against the Memoria and Penacony as a destruction? Did they see us what we did in the Xian show against Ventilia? Do they also like that as a destruction as well? Or maybe they just mean that it's going to ignite something else after that as well. It's a really cool trailer. A really, really cool idea for a trailer, and a really cool bunch of reveals here for designs as well for like Lord Ravengers, which is also very cool too. I think Sludge Queen is the coolest in terms of Fantilia. She's always been really cool. If that is Selenova, she's also cool too. The hand one probably needs to like, I just think a patch will do, you know? Patch it out. Patch Handy Magoober out. You know, I'm joking. It's a really interesting and unique design that's instantly striking and you go, oh my god, what is that? Very much the intention of it, I feel like, as well. And then the guy with the kind of blade, you know what kind of reminds you of? It kind of reminds you of like a Flame Reaver, but like in more of a light mode, right? You switch on light mode for the Flame Reaver and it looks like that as well. But all of it like looks really, really cool regardless. Really cool designs. But yeah, I am really excited that I got to see this. I'm glad I watched it at this point as well. I love, once again, the Honkai Star Rail is very complicated when it comes to these stories. Like, you look at this right now and you look at the Xian show and you're like, oh, Xian show, no. Because again, it's always been the case. And you can watch all my playthroughs. I've done that since the beginning, where like, we will love the characters that we love, but that doesn't mean we can't point out their flaws. We've done that so many times with Jin Yuan and the Hunt as well, where like, I can sit here and be like, using the Golden Blood for these aims, not a good idea. But it's also like, I still love Jin Yuan. Just like you can like any character who's flawed or has problems. Like, no one's ever going to say that like all of these characters are perfect. And I think in this case, like, maybe we'll learn more about why if he took that bargain, that's what he actually wants to do. But we know that was Jing Liu's suggestion, to use the Golden Blood. And I think it might be more figurative, the idea of like using the arrow, because the arrow is also like talked about as being the Hunt as well. It's not just talked about as being like the physical Rainbow Arbiter. So we'll see where that goes as well. But I do love that they, again, even in this trailer, showed Jin Yuan like not even able to look at Jing Liu like kind of predicting some sort of future that's happening here as well. We got to see what could happen with the Black Tide as well, as it spreads out to the future. It's a really, devastating force. And of course, the Lord Ravengers are going to absolutely love this as they offer this ruination up to Nanook as well. Really great trailer, guys. Really love this a lot. Yeah, it's freaking awesome. And of course, like, you guys can tell me what you think about it and where you think I'm wrong with this stuff too. Please let me know. I want to say, guys, if you want to see these videos early, you can do so on YouTube members and on Patreon for €1 or whatever it is in your currency. And that allows you to see every Honkai Star Rail video that appears on this channel will be early on YouTube members and on Patreon for the lowest tier. If you want to hear your name be read out at the end of every single video, the name in the text credits at the end of every single video, that is €10. And if you want to hear your name read out at the end of every single video as a shout out, that is €15 at the highest tier possible on my Patreon and YouTube members. And with that, I want to say thank you to those supporters. First on Patreon at the highest tier, that being Typharo 2, Jamie Bull, Johnny the Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Delicious Felix, Yuld, Anusta, Yasasif, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Leon, High Kasperian, Neo Shaurite, Leah 200, Malcolm Kunde, and the highest tier of my YouTube members, Blasco and Lusanagi. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.